Hello everyone, welcome back to Naomi's Bookshelf. I am in a different location as we are currently in the middle of moving. So we are here with hopefully decent lighting, but also I do not have my ring light on today as I have just gone through a very simple, nothing scary laser eye surgery on yesterday. So I will not be having my ring light on as that will be hurting my eyes, so I'm hoping the lighting is okay. Thank you for suffering through with me if it's not. So we're going to talk today about my next timeless tome, which is The Fellowship of the Ring. So here on my channel, I am doing a video series, which I have been really enjoying so far, where I discuss big classics. I read a classic that's over 500 pages, that's kind of my cutoff, or very close to 500 pages, and then I discuss them with you. So I do have a spoiler-free section at the beginning, and then when I say time for spoilers, then I'm going to go straight into spoilers, and I'm going to spoil this book if you have never heard of the story of Lord of the Rings, although I feel like most people have. So we're gonna just go straight into this. This one is the first of 3 books, which was, I think, originally published all together as one story. So if I'm wrong in that, please let me know down below. But I'm pretty sure this is all one story, split up into 3 books. So The Fellowship of the Ring follows a hobbit. It starts with a hobbit named Bilbo Baggins and his nephew Frodo, who he has adopted as his heir. And Frodo receives a gift from his uncle, right when he turns 33. And this story follows Frodo as he receives this gift, which is the ring, and he learns about its powers, and he has to do something scary. Like, he has to go on a journey to get rid of it because of the power that it has. It was good. It was very slow. This is classic fantasy, which is not my typical genre. I did have to push my way through it. A lot of it, I buddy read it with Victoria Reads Too Much. I'll link her down below and in the cards. But I did enjoy this book. It was just something I had to push through. I listened to the audio for most of it, and I kind of read some parts, but I mostly listened to the audio. It helped me get through the songs, because there are a lot of songs. Tom Bombadil was a longer section. So if you get, like, it's a long book. This is like 500 pages, and it's basically the setup to the book series, I believe. It just felt like a setup book, and it just was a little long. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because I could see what it's doing. I did really appreciate characters and the backstories and the growth. I really do appreciate all like the friendships and everything in this book. It was just on the slow side for me. So I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. But I do recommend it if you are interested at all, or if you've never read Fellowship of the Ring. It was a good one. I really did enjoy this one. So we are going to go into the spoiler section now. Are you ready? Let's do this. This one, I found it super intriguing how, because I've only watched the movies before. I watched the extended edition, so I got a lot of the movies, but I haven't read the books. And so reading this one for the first time, Merry and Pippin really struck out to me as not just along for the ride, like for the fun of it. They really were there because they wanted to be there with Frodo and Sam. And Sam is such a hero character to me. He's always, like, he's never gonna quit on Frodo. You can just tell. Like, he is determined. And even at the end when he's like, Frodo's slipping away, I just know it. And then he goes and he finds Frodo, who's invisible, because that's how well he knows Frodo. It's just, I love Sam. He's just a great, great character. And he's, in a way, the hero of this book. He's the best friend turned hero, I think, in my opinion. I mean, I haven't read the other 2 yet, so I might be wrong. But that's what I've heard about this series, and I tend to agree already. This one was really interesting to me about Strider, like learning about him and being very mysterious, and how you're not sure if you should trust him or not. You're not sure what to do with him. And then you have Gandalf, who's disappearing and coming back. The Fellowship, where they all sit down and talk, the council, was really long, but I did enjoy getting to know the backstories of all the characters, the different levels of their friendships, and how they're all connected. But like I was saying earlier about Tom Bombadil, that whole section, I feel like that was just there to allow Frodo and his friends to get caught by the Seven Hands character, the Seven Hands in that cage, or not the cage, in that underground cavern. and then for them to be rescued. That was the only reason he took like 2 chapters. And he took a lot of pages. So I was kind of done with him. But I was like, you know what? We'll keep listening to the audiobook and we'll get through Tom Bombadil. But yeah, so Tom Bombadil is a bit of a drag. The elves were really great though. I loved seeing the elves and all the different struggles with this power for the ring, how addictive it is. Even though not many people have touched it, Bilbo especially is like really struggling with this power of the ring and like removing himself from it at the beginning, and then even when he sees Frodo later, it's just like he can't stop thinking about this ring. And it's really become an addiction. I also was interested to see how Frodo was reacting to the ring and how it was starting to get its hooks in him and gripping him, and he couldn't ever let go of it. Then you have, what's her name? The Queen Fairy, not Queen Fairy, the Queen Elf, the lady the beautiful lady. I know that her name's in the back of my head, but I can't remember right now. But like she struggles for power, and then you have Boromir, who is also struggling for power with the ring and wants the ring. It's just, this ring has an addictive quality, and it's really interesting if you look at it from like an addiction standpoint. My cousin, Sarah, she made a great video a while ago about the ring and about like addiction and trauma in the books, and I will link it down below. It's something to definitely check out if you are interested at all, because she analyzes how the different characters, especially Bilbo, deals with addiction and trauma. It's very interesting. But yeah, so this one was interesting to look at it from the first standpoint of this kind of power it has over people. It really had control, and Gandalf even, he's like, I'm not touching that thing because I know it will do wrong. Like, I know I have good intentions, but that will change. So it was just a very interesting look at addiction, basically. Also, I really, really am glad to see, like, this is an adventure book. This is full-on adventure. Aside from how long it takes for anyone to get anywhere, it's an adventure book. But when Gandalf is fighting with the Belmazam? Basically when Gandalf falls and he says that you shall not pass section. And then they have to move on without him. And then they just keep going, and they're like, they are shook. But Strider, or Aragorn, he pushes them through, and he makes them go all the way through, and like they keep going because they have to deal with this. They have to get out, and they have to like do what Gandalf wanted. And then when they get out, then they cry, and then they all break down. And it was awesome to see these characters be in this survival mode where they're fighting for their lives, trying to run away, and they lose their leader. They lose the person who they're trusting in to get them to where they need to go, to Mordor. And so they're like frozen. But then Aragorn steps up into his kingly position, as he's described, like a king, and he just leads them without letting them grieve, which is it reminds me so much of like anything I've seen in war movies, where they lose someone special and they just can't do anything about it until after the fact. You have to push forward until after. So I really appreciated that. And like, it wasn't just, they all went and like sat silently. Like, there was crying described in here, and not just little grieving. It was like big grief. And it's something that was really, I think, brought this book to a serious note. Like, it was serious before, but then when you realize that Gandalf died, that's really hard. So it makes this book really hit home in a heavy way. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. I'm not a big fantasy reader, so taking a long time to get anywhere just felt really hard. But I'm really glad that I read it, and I have now officially finished The Fellowship of the Ring. I know this video is not as long as the other ones. I feel like I can't talk too much more about this one because of the series that it's in, but also because I wasn't in love with this one like I was with Anna Karenina, And I feel like a lot of people have thoughts on this. So please let me know down below if you have thoughts on this one, if you have enjoyed it, or if you'd like to talk about it. Also, I know The Two Towers is a lot shorter than 500 pages. I'm pretty sure it's like 350 or something, but I can do a Timeless Tomes video on it if you would like me to do a little, maybe focused review on The Two Towers and the Return of the King when I get around to that, as I'm reading this for the Lord of the Read Along, which was hosted by Krista from Books and Jams and Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand. So I will definitely put a poll up here if you would like to vote on if I should do a focused review on The Two Towers along with, or in the future, Return of the King. So thank you so much for watching. I would like to talk about this with you in the comments. Like I said, please subscribe if you like big classics, because I love them. I have a playlist that I will link down below and in the cards. I will see you all next time with another video. Bye for now.